All right, the last book for literature circles is a book called The Giver from Lois Lowry. This happens to be my favorite book. It is a upper level book. It is a very high vocabulary, and if you are a struggling reader, I would suggest you choose another one. But if you are right on grade level, if not above the seventh grade level, this book is going to be right down your alley. The movie The Giver came out a year or two ago, totally different from the book, so don't rely on the movie to do a book summary. Let's tell you a little bit about it. It's about this kid named Jonas, and Jonas is a young boy, young adolescent. He's growing up in this futuristic society way down the road. This society is so different from what we know right now because they've tried to eliminate all pain and hurt from the world. And the way they do this is by just making a ton of rules that this world has to follow. For example, kids are not allowed to ride bikes until they're 8 years old, and they don't want them to skin their knees. You have small rules like that, but you have huge rules, life-changing rules, such as you are not allowed to pick your spouse. You get partnered up with somebody, and you don't have biological children together as a couple because they have a job in the society known as a birth mother, and all birth mothers do is give birth to babies. That's all they do. And you are assigned 2 kids per family, 1 boy, 1 girl. It's very regimented. You cannot have any more than that. It's whole different from what you're living in today in this world and age. Well, Jonas is getting ready for this ceremony because when he gets to be a certain age, he is going to get his future job. And when you get to be that age, I believe it's 11. Let me look on the back of the book here. Oh, it doesn't even say how old they are. I'm pretty sure it's 11 years old. You get your future job, and you know what? You don't have a say in it. What adults do is they take notes over you throughout your entire life, and then when you turn 11 years old, you are assigned your future job based on those notes and what you like, what you dislike, and what you would best fit into. And Jonas has no idea what he's going to be getting. So they go to the ceremony, and all the kids are being called up to the stage, and Jonas's name is skipped, of all things. It's skipped. And he realizes that, and he's like, wait a second, why didn't they call my name? This is crazy. So finally, they finish the entire ceremony, and then the person running the ceremony calls Jonas up there. Well, she immediately apologizes to Jonas and to the whole crowd because they saved Jonas's job for last because it's an important one. And he is called the new receiver of memory. And he has to go hook up with this guy, Santa Claus looking dude on the cover here, and Jonas calls him the Giver. And when Jonas goes with the Giver sits him down the first day and basically gives him the rules. And there are some unique rules that he has to follow here that make him a little bit concerned. And throughout his whole life, he said, no, you cannot lie about anything. You always tell the truth. Well, one of the Giver's rules is you can lie. And Jonas doesn't know how to deal with that. So he knows that he's going to be receiving some knowledge here, and he's going to have to lie about it to his family and to his friends and not be able to be fully honest. And that really irks Jonas because he wants to be truthful and honest. So what the Giver does is the Giver has all these memories inside his head of what the world used to be like a long time ago. And Jonas has no clue about it. As a matter of fact, nobody has any clue about it because they all are only familiar with the new society that Jonas lives in. Well, the Giver suddenly, just one by one, starts giving him memories. And what happens is Jonas lays on a table, lays flat, and the Giver puts his hands on him. And when he puts his hands on him, he transmits memories from his body into Jonas about what the world used to be like. And some of the memories are good and some are bad. Well, the Giver's smart. He starts off with good memories. And Jonas is enjoying this. He's like, oh, this is an easy job. But yeah, I'll come back tomorrow, Giver, and I'm excited about growing and learning all these memories. Well, the Giver says to him pretty quickly, guess what? You're not going to like me very much here in the future because they're not all great memories. You're going to be getting some bad ones too. And when Jonas gets his first bad memory, it's the memory of sunburn. And Jonas feels his skin start to flake up and get blistery, and it hurts. And he's like, whoa, what's that? I don't like that feeling anymore. And the giver's like, well, that's just a small taste of what you're going to be getting. There, it gets worse. And then Jonas starts getting more memories that are a lot worse. Memories of like war and starvation and horrible things that have happened in the world, the Holocaust and genocide and all this stuff. And he's like, whoa, what's going on here? I've never even known about this stuff. Well, Jonas realizes that the more stuff he learns about their society, the more he doesn't like it. And he starts talking to the giver. He's like, the giver, hey, couldn't we together change something about this? And the giver kind of throws his hands up and says, I don't know. I think this is always just the way it's going to be. Well, Jonas makes up his mind that he's not going to take it anymore. He wants to do something. He wants to be a rebel. And the giver actually is a nice person. He says, well, you know what, man, I'm going to help you. And they sneakily go behind the backs of everyone in the town and the city and the world, and they plot a way for Jonas to get away. And I'm not going to tell you exactly how the book ends. The ending of this book is highly controversial because you don't truly know what happens to Jonas. You think you may know, but then like other options are thrown out, and the author, Lois Lowry, she kind of leaves it up to you to figure out what you think happened to Jonas. So if you want to read The Giver, like I said, it is a higher level book, and I think you'll like it. But a lot of people are disappointed with the ending because it's not really concrete. But that's okay because the rest of the book makes up for it. And that's pretty much it. I think you guys would enjoy it if you chose it. And that is the last Literature Circle book option.